Turning now to news back home and tonight's big shift in federal immigration enforcement in Minnesota. Border Czar Tom Homan said 700 federal agents will leave the state immediately, but he stressed Operation Metro Surge will continue with about 2,000 agents remaining here in Minnesota. Joe McCoy joins us now from the newsroom with what local and federal officials are saying about today's developments. Joe?
Well, Julie, both local and federal officials say their meetings with one another have been positive. Both sides want a complete drawdown of federal agents, but the Trump administration says that will only happen with continued cooperation from local partners.
In a step to decrease tension around immigration enforcement in Minnesota, Border Czar Tom Homan announcing Wednesday that roughly a quarter of federal agents in the state are leaving.
Effective immediately, we will draw down 700 people.
Homan says this decision is a result of cooperation between county jails and the feds, allowing ICE to take custody of undocumented immigrants before they are released from jail.
This is smart law enforcement, not less law enforcement.
Even with 700 fewer federal agents, Homan says there are still 2,000 in Minnesota. For context, there were only 150 federal agents in Minnesota before Operation Metro Surge began in December. In an interview with CNN, Mayor Jacob Frey said this is a step in the right direction, but that the operation must end entirely.
The objection is to ICE pulling people off the street indiscriminately. It's these roving bands that were walking through Minneapolis and targeting both Latino and Somali people.
In an exclusive interview with NBC News, President Trump reflected on what has transpired here the past 2 months.
Mr. President, speaking of Minneapolis, what did you learn?
I learned that maybe we can use a little bit of a softer touch, but you still have to be tough.
Today marking potentially a first step towards the end of this operation, but Homan says more is needed for that to happen.
A complete drawdown is going to depend on the cooperation, continued cooperation of local and state law enforcement, and the decrease of the violence, the rhetoric, and the attacks against ICE and Border Patrol.
Homan admitted today that Operation Metro Surge has not been perfect. He also said there will now be one chain of command rather than two to ensure all federal agents are on the same page and, quote, follow the rules. Julie.
All right. Thank you, Joe.